What do you think, Ottie? You want to make some pots? Can I throw with a duck? What's that? What do you want to make first? Huh? I'm thinking candle holder. Does that sound good?
I decided to challenge myself this week to make a full dinnerware set in ceramic, specifically for a harvest party that Ellie and I want to have here at the house.
That was a fun experiment, and now let's actually throw.
This summer has flown by so quickly, and even though it feels like just yesterday that I was out here planting seeds for a summer harvest, it's already time to harvest everything. We've been planning a menu and are so excited, but these pots take a lot of time and focus and patience, so I'm trying to start as early as possible. I started with candle holders, which I'd actually never made before, but if you haven't tried pottery before, I actually think these are a very beginner-friendly option. I made 5 of these and added some ruffles for the first time, and I've been really enjoying experimenting with different styles because I think I'm a long way from fully determining what my own is.
The next things I want to make are a bit of an acquired taste. I've seen these tumblers all over the internet. They're kind of to-go tumblers, and there's this specific version that I really like. And the very top part looks like a heart, and I just think it would be really good for Ellie and I, especially when we're out here in the garden. And I think for this particular harvest party, I'm gonna make 4, and hopefully it works out because I did not wedge any extra clay for these tumblers. It's a little heart. Next up, I want to try to make serving bowls. They're going to be small. I don't need them to be these massive bowls or anything. I do already have one bigger one that I made and has already been through bisque, so we just have to glaze it for our little harvest party. I don't have large enough bats to make your classic style plate, and so I'm going to be making pasta bowls, plates if you will, that are kind of more bowl than plate. And it'll be a good way to practice my shaping because I'm having a little bit of an off day throwing today already, and I haven't made many extras, so let's hope that this goes well.
Good morning, you guys. All of those pieces need at least a few more days of drying before they are ready to go in for bisque so that we can glaze them and have our party. But I actually have a lot of earthenware clay that I can glaze and fire. I purchased and worked with this clay when I was just starting out on the wheel. It was some of the first pieces that I ever made, but actually still some of my favorites, and I think that some of it will be perfect for this garden party. Earthenware is fired at lower temperatures, which usually means that it's not food safe, but I've done a fair bit of research and I do think that so long as I use appropriate glazes that are food safe and for earthenware, they should be okay for at-home use. But I want to show you guys what I'm thinking thinking about glazing for our party today. These mugs were actually the first mugs with handles I ever made. They're very light actually, which is so exciting, and I think that I might make them pink. This is the first pitcher I've ever bisqued, but I have to say it is very, very heavy, and I definitely want to workshop this shape. One of the things I'm most excited about is definitely this oil canister, but I am kind of worried for this because it's super important that this is glazed if oil is gonna stay in it so that it doesn't sour or rot. So I'm gonna waste no time, let's just get right to it. I might actually quickly dunk these all in water just to get off some dust. They've been sitting on the shelves for quite a while, and then we will glaze them and put them in the kiln. I am so curious how long it's going to take me before glazing doesn't feel so out of my comfort zone. It just feels so unpredictable, and I just feel like I know so little. Pinterest has been my absolute best friend for trying to understand glazing a little bit more, and I think that I'm going to go with, or I'm going to try to go with this look for all of the ones that I didn't use the rose quartz on. So it'll definitely be a cohesive, springy, summer, very pink, girly vibe, which is actually kind of fun because I don't think I've ever had any pink tableware. I usually gravitate towards blues and greens, but for some reason I just really wanted pink for this whole collection, so it'll be fun. I hope that it works out. Finally got finished with the first coat, but now I need to go back and do the second coat on every single one, and then on top of that I put this Bots Plus, and that creates the beautiful drippy, swirly, unpredictable sheen that'll cover our cups, hopefully with any luck. I've never used this on low fire clay before, so I don't know. I feel like glazing is always so unpredictable and I never know what I'm going to see when I open the kiln, but this time it'll be even more so. But anyways, I'm gonna finish up so that we can pop these in the kiln. Lately, I've been really trying to follow this idea of creating more and consuming less. Your girl stares at her phone a lot, and one of the things I've been really enjoying doing in my free time is writing. If you guys are up to date with the channel, you'll know I recently published my first ever blog and website, and that is all thanks to Squarespace, the sponsor of this week's video. For those of you who don't know, Squarespace is an all-in-one platform to help you build your unique online presence. Whether you want to share your work, maybe you want to start a blog like I did, or maybe you even want to sell your own creations, Squarespace gives you all the tools you need to do it in one place. I have already mentioned this on this channel, but the new design intelligence feature on Squarespace helped me out so much. It made the process of building my website just so intuitive and easy. It was like having a website designer right next to me, helping me map everything out, but it was just way faster and easier. It's also all mobile optimized, which is amazing because I spent so much time optimizing this beautifully aesthetic website on my laptop, and it translates perfectly right onto my phone. And a lot of people are browsing that way these days anyway. If you're someone who's looking to start your online store, Squarespace makes the whole process super streamlined for you. It only takes a few clicks to set up, and Squarespace accepts Apple Pay, Klarna, all the major credit cards, Afterpay, and ClearPay in some places as well. You can even print shipping labels right from your dashboard, which as someone who has sent out a bunch of fine art prints myself, that just makes it so much easier and streamlined. Squarespace websites have all the well-rounded commerce tools that make a website successful with sales, from reviews to add-ons to related items to product galleries, everything that is designed to help you sell and not just look good. So if you're interested in starting your own website, you can head to squarespace.com to have a free trial. Then when you're ready to launch, you can use the code Maddie Taylor at checkout to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. You guys can find a link in the description box below, and you can also find a link to my own Squarespace website where you can check out my most recent blog post. I am so sad to say it, but I had my very first kiln failure. I don't exactly know what caused it, but there are areas of bare clay on all of these pots. That essentially means that they're not really food safe. And originally I thought about trying to just DIY them into some other project, which might still happen. But I have looked up a few videos on how you can actually reglaze and refire your pots. So I think I am going to test that out, especially since these are the first handled mugs that I have ever made. This is the first pitcher that I have ever made. And if there is any chance of saving them and making them functional pottery pieces, I do think I want to do it. I am a little bit disappointed, but it just makes me feel even more invested in this next round of pots. So let's hope we don't have this happen in the next batch. That said, the pots that I painted with the blush rose turned out really nicely. I really love how this oil canister works. I've already been using it in the kitchen. We put some mint in this one, Ellie's little paperweight, and they turned out really nicely. I have now thrown these cute little mugs probably 4 times. Each time something was going wrong. First time, not enough clay. Second time, too much clay, too heavy. The third time, I waited too long to trim them, and now we are here and these are perfectly ready to be trimmed. I know that it's quite silly, but is that not kind of a fun, adorable, weird little cup? I'm so excited for these. I also ended up throwing one more extra large bowl off camera so that I could play around with trimming it into this oblong serving bowl. This was super fun to make, but I definitely need a lot more practice on keeping everything looking really tidy. It definitely looks more organic and you can see where I cut and where I tried to smooth it over, but you'll see the final product. It's definitely an interesting one. Here is everything that just came out of bisque, and I need to glaze everything as quickly as possible so that we can put it into the glaze fire. Ellie's getting really excited already. I didn't actually show this on camera, but I ended up adding handles to this one, and I think it looks really cute. I do think I need to sand it a little bit on the edges though. Before I glaze these, I'm just giving them a quick sponge off because they are a little dusty coming out of the kiln. After the failure of the last glaze firing, my only goal here is glaze redemption. Originally, I thought that I was going to do a lot of this pretty pink, and now I've definitely changed my mind. After seeing the glazes on those mugs and on my picture, I can't get past the idea that they look like almost fleshy, and maybe it's because I've been getting in an early autumnal spirit, I don't know, but I'm just feeling more blues and greens this time. We'll still have some pinks, but I think it'll actually be more colorful and there'll be more variety than I'd originally planned, which is kind of fun. It is the next day because I was glazing for 6 hours yesterday. I didn't even really film that much of it because I feel like you guys know the drill. And also because, frankly, glazing is not my favorite. I think I might need to actually invest in more dippable glazes because I just don't seem to have the patience for doing multiple coats of paintable glaze. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people could ever do production line pottery that way. But anyway, here we are with our 17 pieces of pottery that have all been drying overnight. And that was really just because I am so nervous about the glaze disaster that we had last time, and I just really, really want these to turn out beautifully. So now it's a game of Tetris. When I bisqued these, this big bowl right here was actually already bisqued, and so I don't know if I'm even going to be able to fit all 17 pieces. I probably won't because it was a pretty full kiln, but we're going to do the best we can. and we'll probably be in here for a while trying to make everything fit. By some miracle, I think we're going to be able to get almost everything to fit in the kiln. The only thing is these kiln steps are a little too tall, and so right now Ellie is being total MVP and is helping me to cut 1 centimeter off of these. It's a little bit tricky, but she says it's going to work, and that way we'll be able to hopefully fit almost everything in here. The only thing I'm a little worried about is the bottom layer. The plates are a little bit close to the kiln walls, which is not ideal, but hopefully it'll be good. They're not glazes that are supposed to be super drippy or runny, so hopefully they also don't bubble up a lot. Oh, I love that. Really getting into the spooky mood over here. Having a summer harvest party and I'm like, oh, fall. All right, you guys, let's see how Ellie's handiwork saved the day. I'm scared. All right, you guys, so you can see that it worked. It clears it. The only 2 pieces that aren't gonna make it this time is one of our plates and this really cute little bowl, but that's okay. We still have so many cool things that are going in, and I just really hope that we open it tomorrow to some beautiful pieces. Please, Kiln. Please. We have been waiting and waiting and waiting for this day since these pots have taken quite a while, but all of our pots are currently cooling off in the kiln and it is finally time to harvest. It really does feel like it was just yesterday that I was out here in this outfit, seeding all of these garden beds and getting ready for the summer and autumn harvest. And I cannot believe that today is the day that we're actually harvesting a lot of our vegetables. Today we are going to harvest so many things, all of our green beans, hopefully onions, carrots. We have a zucchini and a cucumber and squash, too big of a squash. It's all of the good stuff, and we have a huge menu planned, which is where all of our ceramic pieces will really come in handy. We managed to grow the longest green beans I think I personally have ever seen in a garden. And they're actually really good too. I've already been munching on these a little bit. It looks like someone took a liking to the bush beans because none of them are left. I wonder who it was.
I've been waiting for this day my whole life.
It's huge.
Smell it.
Can you guys smell it?
It has pants!
You guys, I'm pretty sure we might have waited too long on this, but it sure is really beautiful.
That could be nice.
It's bigger than my face.
It's way bigger than your face.
It's way bigger than my face. There's a little spider on it. Oh, there's 2 spiders on it. Crazy. It's huge.
Kale has been surprisingly difficult to get in Germany, so I have been very, very happy coming out here and getting some of our own. Get it, Ottie. There are so many blackberries. I think this is 1% of everything that these bushes have. Even though this was the biggest harvest we've done so far, we actually only gathered a small fraction of everything that's in there,
and it was just so simple to grow all of this. We really didn't even spend that much time in the garden. All it took is some seeds and some dirt and time, and now we will feast.
We do have to say it was raining a lot.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to water the garden.
And we had a lot of earthworms.
That's true.
A lot of earthworms.
Want some carrot? No.
It is the morning of the party. The pots are cooling. And it is always around 200 degrees Celsius that I get obsessive about wanting to open the kiln. Right now it's at 132 degrees. And when you look online, you can see the broadest spectrum of opinions about when you should or should not open your kiln after a firing. Some people say, as soon as it's 800 degrees and my gloves don't catch fire, I open the kiln. Other people say, do not open it until room temperature or your pots will be ruined, your glazes will crackle, and everything will be destroyed. And so I really don't know what the truth is. I really don't know. But what I do know is about 132 degrees means I need to take at least a little peek.
Can you guys see anything?
It already looks so much better than the last load, but I don't want to get too hopeful yet. I'm going to reserve my hope. I'm going to crack the lid a little bit just to speed this up ever so slightly. I hope that it's fine. I don't know. Who knows?
I like the forget-me-not color.
This one has a lot of crazing happening. What? What is this color? Wasn't this supposed to be pink?
Yeah.
And there's so much crazing.
Definitely prettier this time.
Will these even come off? That's why you do test tiles. That was supposed to be pink again. After probably a month of work, this is a wrap. There have been some really happy surprises and some really lame surprises as well. We are so happy with how the glaze turned out on all of our plates and even the bowl too. That being said, we really did not expect the Bots Plus to drip quite as much as it did, and when this one came out of the kiln, it had little tiles stuck to the bottom of it. Thankfully, I was able to use a grinder to get them off, but obviously that's not something I would want to do repeatedly, and now we know how to do it next time, or how to not do it next time. The craziest thing to me is this one, because this was supposed to be pink. I mean, it looks cool, but wasn't this supposed to be pink?
Yeah. And when this came out, I think I was just feeling really disappointed because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But recently, I saw that this kind of looks like a little whale in the middle, and now I love it. That's all that it took for me to just completely change my mind. I just think that's really unique. That being said, this pot of all of the ones that I made has the worst.
That is crazy.
If you're not in the realm of pottery, that's basically when the glaze isn't a good fit for your clay body and they contract at different rates. And now there are all of these little hairline cracks all throughout this entire pot. There's a lot of mixed reviews about what a crackle glaze is and isn't safe for online. I have seen professional potters, like I already mentioned Florian Gatsby, he uses and sells crackle glazed pots all the time, and he intentionally crackles his pots, but a lot of other potters say that that means it's not food safe. You don't want to sell that to a restaurant where they're using their dishware a lot, because essentially there's bacteria that can get into all those little cracks. So you just have to really give it a good scrub. These are not for sale. These are for our home use. So I think it's okay.
It's okay. And there could be a fruit bowl, which then would be fine.
Yeah. But honestly, I think it's really cute, even though it is not pink. I think the biggest mistake I made is in these mugs, which is just funny because I told you guys I've now made these so many times, so many dang times. I don't know why I didn't think about basic physics the entire time I was making these, but I put these holes way too low, and you can only fill your glass to where the hole is in the mug. So with this one, you can only fill it 3/4 of the way. So if I wanted to make them again, I would want to put the hole very close to the top and probably use different straws, like thinner straws too. So these were a little bit of a disappointment. Also, they dripped so much more than I thought they would that they damaged the bottoms of all of these. Again, with this one, this was supposed to be the eucalyptus green like the plates, but something weird happened. We had another one that was supposed to be pink, and that just didn't happen at all. I think that we'll keep this one, but the glaze results of these turned out so crazy. And again, we got some more destruction on the bottom here that I don't know if we'll be keeping all of them. They might end up as a mosaic one day. But overall, you know, I am so happy with how these all look together. And we had such an amazing dinner here, and I know we'll be using it for so many more dinners in the future. Ellie made us such a delicious dinner with all of the vegetables and even the fruit that we collected. She made a crumble, and she made roasted vegetables, and I made us a big salad, and I made us a lemonade in this wonky little pitcher that I'll probably refire. And it was just a really good time, and Eliza loved it too, so no complaints there. So as always, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.
Be kind. Oh, I love this duck.
Can you? Yeah.
You guys are loud.
I am so afraid that I'm going to drop this right now.